Kasia. This video is for vegans. I will be talking about how to talk to non-vegans. When we first switch vegan and realize what meat and dairy industries are about, we want to tell others about it. We want to convince them that we don't need animals on our place. We want to tell them how cruel it is. But for some reason, not everybody is so easily convinced. Especially living with non-vegan friends and looking at their dinners every day can be really challenging, knowing that they don't share the same moral values as we do. But blocking McDonald's or coming into restaurants and throwing meat out of people's plates is not the best idea. That would only convince people that vegans are dangerous weirdos, and no, that's not the way. Go. So I have 8 tips for you how to deal with your non-vegan friends. Number 1 is to make aware. Well, maybe it's hard for you to believe that, but some people still don't know that cows don't produce milk themselves, or they don't know what happens to little chicks or calves, that they are a waste product in their industry. Well, I used to not think about it. I used to not think about where milk comes from. For us vegan, it's obvious. We can see that information everywhere. But we have to realize that all the algorithms on social media or on Google work in the way that if you are interested in something, they will show you more information about it. So if we are into veganism, they will show you vegan food, vegan restaurant, etc. If somebody's into fishing, it will show them fishing tips or fishing equipment, etc. etc. So if somebody's not into veganism, that information will simply not show to them. That's why if you meet somebody, then it's important to just tell them, not make a big issue of that, but just tell them about it. Obviously, don't expect somebody to turn vegan straight away, but telling them information, if they genuinely don't know about it, it's always useful. We do realize that if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everybody would be vegan. But they not only not have glass walls, but the very existence of slaughterhouses is denied in people's mind. I personally heard somebody saying, I would never kill an animal, I don't harm animals, I buy meat in a supermarket. Right, and one more thing, don't call them idiots or call them names. That would not be perceived very well. Just, as a matter of fact, explain them that producing meat without killing animal is not possible. Number 2, ask questions. Instead of just stating a fact, killing an animal is bad, ask them, do you know any humane way of killing an animal that doesn't want to die? Instead of saying cow's milk is for baby cows, ask them, why do you think cow produces milk? That way we don't force our opinion on others. We just lead the conversation and they can come to some conclusions themselves. But careful. Number 3, don't expect immediate change. Tell the truth, make people aware, show them what veganism is about, but don't expect that that person will stop eating a burger halfway through after a conversation with you. For most people, it's a gradual process. Just because somebody don't turn vegan after a conversation with you, it doesn't mean it's not worth talking about it. Personally, for me, it was a gradual process of listening to some information, just connecting some facts. But I had never met a vegan person before. I actually think that if I had met a vegan earlier, I would have become vegan early myself. It still wouldn't be straight away, but it's worth planting some seeds, giving some information, and you will never know what effect it will have on people. Number 4, be empathetic. It does not mean agreeing with everything what the other person says. It rather means understanding why they are saying it, and there are some cultural and psychological differences and reasons why people react in certain way. Remember as well that most of us are not vegans from birth. Myself, I had a period in my life when I knew everything about dairy industry and I knew how cruel it is. But I deceived myself that some butter every so often or a bit of cheese won't hurt. But then something clicks and veganism becomes the only acceptable way of living. Number 5. Be prepared and be knowledgeable. Unfortunately, if we want to convince others to our way of living, we have to become experts in nutrition. It's unavoidable that people will ask questions like, where do you get your protein from, or your calcium, or your iron, or whatever? Even if at the moment the base of the diet is burgers, pizzas and chips, and they lack half of vitamins and minerals. But veganism is something different. You have to get your protein from somewhere, don't you? Number 6 is to show vegan products and meals. That's what motivates people best. Most of people just don't know what they could be eating on a vegan diet. They're so used to their way of eating that it's just scary to change. Believe me or not, some people still don't know that plant milks exist. Not so long ago, I was talking to a friend, telling him about oat milk or rice milk, and he was like, how do you milk oats? Really, we would think that it's hard to overlook ever-growing shelf in a supermarket with all plant milks. But some people are so used to their way of living, they just go into supermarket, into the same shelves, buy the same things and don't look around. So that's why it's important to show them that there is something like vegan yogurt, vegan cheese, vegan ice cream, and some things are even better than the non-vegan equivalents. I showed my mum vegan ice cream and she said, oh, it's better than normal ice cream. So now why buy traditional ice cream if a vegan one is better? So every product they replace, it's a win. It's going into the right direction. So give them some vegan products to taste. If you can cook some delicious meals and give to friends, they will rather not refuse trying your meals. And if they like it, they may get this product themselves next time they are in a shop, or they can ask for a recipe. And if you are in the UK, tell them about our online vegan shop, www.vfreeshop.com, where you can get lots of delicious vegan food like cabanossi, or ready meals, pâtés, chocolate and biscuits, and lots more. Number 7. A method of small steps. Some vegans have a stance that you are either vegan or you are bad and you need to be fixed. I don't support that. I think that eating meat has been so normalized in our society that it takes time to reverse the norms. So if somebody just replaces cow's milk with plant milk, that's great. If your friend tells you that he will have one vegan meal a week, that's awesome. It's still better than non-vegan meals a week. Number 8. Acceptance. I think that's the most important. I know we would like to fix the world straight away. We would like to stop that cruelty. But we have to accept the world as it is now. Unfortunately, for some people, their taste buds are the main thing. For us vegans, it's absolutely obvious that we will resign from certain tastes. 15 minutes of sensory pleasure, it's not worth the life of an animal. Yes, I have to admit that tofu scramble does not taste the same as egg scramble. It tastes different. It tastes delicious, but the taste is a bit different. For others, the most important thing is that the food tastes exactly the same way they are used to. A steak has to be a steak, it has to have the same taste and texture of a steak. An egg can't be replaced, and they like hard-boiled or soft-boiled egg, whatever. Cheese has to melt, and that's it. Cheese has to melt. It does not matter what's the price for the cheese to melt, it has to melt. Thankfully, we have some brilliant vegan cheeses that do melt. Unfortunately, they have not discovered a vegan like hard-boiled egg. But as I say, some people can resign from certain tastes, some people do not. And I know it's really hard to look when others eat parts of animals, but we have no choice. Unfortunately, billions and trillions of animals will still die every year, and for I don't know how many years. I'm not sure if it will be within my lifespan, but I do believe that one day it will be a day that veganism will be a norm, when the word vegan will no longer be necessary, that for everybody it's obvious that we are compassionate and cruelty-free. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumb up and tell me in the comment what you think about it.